Hey, good Monday morning, everybody. Meteorologist Brad Panovich here. We've got our first real threat of severe weather this spring. Just when the temperatures warmed up and things got a little muggy, we've got our first chance of severe storms. We talked about last week, it'd probably be a low-end risk. As we've gone through the weekend, the threat has increased to about a medium. So on a 1 to 4 scale, we're basically at a 2. And this isn't a huge outbreak or anything like that. But for the first one of the season, it's always kind of important that we kind of pay attention to what's going on here. So here's the updated. This one was just literally updated by the Storm Prediction Center. You could see this big area of orange. That is our medium threat for severe storms this afternoon. The yellow is the low end threat. If there's red, that's high, and then we have the extreme. So we do a 1 through 4 scale based on the Storm Prediction Center outlooks. A little bit clarity here to kind of show you on the setup. But you can see a pretty big area stretching from Virginia Beach all the way back into central Mississippi. Now, I'm going to switch to another map here and show you the current temperatures and satellite image, because the important thing about the satellite image, this is one of those days, folks, where we don't really want to see the sun. I know we haven't seen a lot of it. Yesterday wasn't the greatest day for sunshine, but the more sunshine we see break out here, the more instability we're going to get, because the dew point temperatures are in the 60s as well. So pretty muggy for this time of year. So the combination of the heat and humidity is going to build that thing that we call CAPE, or thunderstorm fuel, that low-level instability, which provides all the fuel that these storms will need this afternoon. And I'm going to turn on what we call the short-range kind of surface CAPE, just to kind of show you where it is. And you can see the areas of green. That's where the CAPE's getting close to 1,000 joules per kilogram. It's a scale we use to measure potential energy. And you can see it's starting to build, especially in those areas that have cleared out. And as we go into the afternoon, this will continue to build and provide all the fuel necessary for these storms to feed off of. So we'll go back here. I'm going to turn off our outlook here. I'll show you the current radar. That's the current radar. So you see the mess of storms here. We actually had some warnings back here in Tennessee this morning, even a tornado warning. That's all going to be pushing to the east this afternoon. So this whole mess will move into an environment that gets some sunshine over us, and that's going to provide the possibility for some strong storms. So let's switch over to our model data here real quickly. So here you go. Here's our model. Now you can see this is starting this morning at right around 9 a.m. We'll go out frame by frame here. I'm going to stop this about 11 a.m. You can see we're still dry across the Carolinas, but look at the line of storms developing back into Tennessee and Georgia. We'll go to about 1 o'clock this afternoon, and that's when we start to see the first storms move into the mountains. So for the mountain communities, 1, 2 o'clock is likely your arrival time of the first batch. And then as we get later into the afternoon, 3, 4 o'clock, this is 4 o'clock, you could see the line of showers and storms. Someone asked me yesterday, is this going to be a line or scattered? A little bit of both. We're going to have all kinds of varieties here, because we're going to have a big cluster up there, some isolated ones here, and maybe a bow echo down here. What I mean by a bow echo, you see it kind of looks like a bow and arrow. And the reason it takes on this shape like this, a bow and arrow looks like that, is that arrow is basically the strong winds punching into the storm. So always a sign that you've got some strong winds. So this is 4 o'clock. 5 o'clock seems to be the hot spot, at least based on our short-range modeling. So don't read into this as a model, just like anything. It's not precise. It gives you a general guidance between 3 p.m. and I'd say 7 p.m. And then you can see this is 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. It starts to all move out by 10 o'clock. We're just got some scattered showers. So just back that up again. That's 4. Let's start 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 p.m. this evening. So one of the things I look at in this model, and I'm going to go back and show you this, is that surface CAPE we talked about. And I have to load this, so bear with me as I load this while you're watching. You'll see this. This is that thunderstorm fuel. So what you're looking at is thunderstorm fuel here. And I'll let this load, so it's loading in real time. And I'm going to stop this once it gets to late tonight. So we'll back this up. And you can see this is this morning at 8 a.m. And I'll quickly probe. You see about 400 joules. So let's go into the afternoon. By about noon, you start to see 1,500, 1,800, some of these oranges and reds building in. And again, look at this. This is by 1 o'clock. So that's a lot of thunderstorm fuel. We'll go to 2 o'clock. You could see that's significant. To see over 2,000 CAPE or thunderstorm fuel in this case, that is potentially some serious fuel for storms this afternoon. So that's the indication that the model is trying to show us that skies are going to clear out. And you can see the storms feeding off of that. As they feed off of it, it goes away because it's using up that fuel. So that kind of gives you an idea. Now I'm going to go back to this map real quick, and I'm going to turn some things off and show you another parameter I really like looking at called updraft helicity. Now, updraft helicity is one of those things. It basically means, do the storms have rotating updrafts in them? And now, rotating updrafts in and of themselves don't necessarily mean a tornado, but that's kind of what you have, the potential for tornadoes. But rotating updrafts also produce large hail and damaging winds. So we'll go into the afternoon. This is a 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I'm going to stop this at the same time, right? 3, 4. So right around 4 to 5 o'clock, you could see there's a couple storms that move across the Charlotte area that have rotating updrafts, and then they expand a little bit. So that time frame, that 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock time frame certainly seems to be the time frame that we're going to have to watch for the potential for some severe weather. And again, I'm going to load this one more time just so you can see that, because I think it's really important that we keep an eye on that 3, 4, 5 o'clock time frame. So let's go. There's 4 o'clock. So right there, 5:22 p.m., about the time frame we're looking at for some strong storms. So I'll be keeping an eye on it throughout the afternoon. It's one of those days. Stay weather aware. Make sure you have 3 ways to get warnings. If you don't have our WCNC Charlotte app, I don't care if you ever use this for our forecast. It's our forecast. I think it's really accurate. But more importantly, it gives you hyperlocal GPS-based warnings for your phone location. It's one way to get alerts. The radio, TV, if you still watch live TV, radio, if you still listen to the radio, social media, weather radio, text alerts, some kind of push notification. Get 3 of them, because in case one fails or doesn't work, you've got 2 of those backups. And remember, just stay weather aware today. Make sure you know that the storms that develop could be severe today, and know where to go in case these storms do become severe right around 3, 4 o'clock. Have a great Monday. I'll have you covered throughout the day.